And we are live. We are live and live. Thanks for those that will be joining me live. If anyone, it's Sunday night. It is what it is. But also, anybody who will be watching on archive, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Subscribe today. Subscribe to D Style Boxing. Let's go ahead and talk about this fight right here. All right? Because this fight is by far, anyway, at least from the looks of it, the biggest economic fight in the history of boxing, right? No fight has ever been anywhere near as close as this fight to make the type of money that this fight is projected to make, right? That's just, I mean, this, I believe, in my honest opinion, that this fight's going to clear 3 million buys. And I know that sounds crazy, but I honestly believe it's going to do over 3 million buys. I'll do a separate video about that later. Okay. It's a big fight. I mean, over there in England, you had Box Nation, Sky Sports fighting for the right to this fight. That's more money, right? All over the world, they're paying for the rights to this fight. There's a lot more money than just the pay-per-view money and gate money that is coming in, right? There's a lot more money than that riding with this fight, right? So these guys are projected to make, what, 100 million Mayweather, 80 million Pacquiao, some ridiculous shit like that. I mean, this is insane. Crazy money. Let's go ahead and put that aside. When these two are in the ring, right? When these two guys are in the ring, they've both been in big fights. Not as big as this. Not as big as this. But they've both been in the ring with Oscar De La Hoya, Miguel Cotto, Juan Manuel Marquez. We talked about that, right? I mean, they've been in there with, Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton fans go crazy, go travel all the way to the UK. There's only one Ricky Hatton, all that, right? So they've been in big events, they've been in big live events. So as far as that goes, none of these two guys are going to fold under the lights per se, right? At least not in the traditional sense, right? Before I get to the actual physical matchup and the thinking matchup, as far as, the chess in the ring, this war, there is a mental aspect that I think a lot of people are leaving out here, okay? Meaning, it's like if I were to compare their other fights to this fight, it's almost like if we were to look at this analogy, take the NFL. All those other games or fights or big fights, they were playoff fights. They were playoff games. This is the Super Bowl, right? And we have to take this into account. There's a possibility that either one of these guys could really fold in a Super Bowl, right? The pressure could really get to any one of these two guys, right? Now, maybe it won't, because like I said, I think they've both been well prepared for this moment, to be honest. But that's something we can't quite leave out, right? Like there's that kicker that can make 30-yard field goals all day, but when the game's on the line, can he make that 30-yard field goal? When the game is on the line. So yeah, Mayweather could do this stuff all day. Pacquiao could do stuff all day, but when it's all on the line, it's a different story. It's a whole different ballgame, right? And I think that's something we all have to take into account for real, right? Now, let's talk about the actual matchup, right? One guy's in the blue corner, one guy's in the red corner. I don't know who's going to – I don't know if like the corner colors or in the negotiations. I wouldn't doubt it, right? But it doesn't matter to me. Mayweather's walking out last and he's being announced last. I could almost guarantee you that, right? Not that I know the details on that, but that's just my feeling. Ding, ding, once the bell rings. Let's talk about this matchup. And I want you to, if you have to close your eyes to visualize it, go ahead, okay? I first want to say this from jump. And I still see this confusion, honestly, with a lot of boxing fans for some reason, right? So just to and I'm sure this is a big fight, so even non-boxing fans will be watching Mayweather versus Pacquiao videos, just because, right? So I just want to say this just to clear it and put it out there. A lot of you already know this, so bear with me for a moment, okay? There's a reason they never say that guy fights lefty, this guy fights righty, right? There's a reason they say that, okay? Because there's an orthodox stance and there's a southpaw stance, right? Again, there's an orthodox stance and a southpaw stance. Now, generally, most southpaws are in fact lefties, right? And generally, most orthodox, right? Most orthodox are righty, right? Right-handed, which is why there's generally been in the history of boxing more orthodox fighters than southpaws. You know, when the sport first started, I mean, a lot of left-handed fighters had to learn how to fight orthodox because that's how they trained guys to fight, right? A southpaw was a rare thing and was a lot more of an issue, you know, back in the day than it is now, right? It was hard to find sparring partners as such. Now, I mean, a lot of fighters have, you know, taken upon the role of being a southpaw, and not necessarily because they're left-handed. But the reason I'm saying that is, okay, there's a reason I'm saying this, because I've heard people say things like, you know, Oscar De La Hoya wasn't orthodox. He was, you know, he was left-handed. Yeah, De La Hoya was a left-hand dominant fighter. All of us have a dominant hand, right? You have your rare individuals that can use both hands, but like me, I'm right-handed, okay? However, you know, when I did my karate thing, I stood with my right foot front, southpaw. That's how I felt comfortable, with my power hand in front of me. That's just how some people are. Same thing with Oscar De La Hoya, right? He boxed orthodox, but he was a left-hand dominant fighter, which is why De La Hoya had that deadly jab and deadly left hook. It was right there with his power foot in front of him, right? Or not power foot, but you know what I mean. His left foot in front of him, lead hand, his power hand in front of him, right? This ain't kickboxing, I know. Forgive me. But his left hand, he was left-hand dominant. Now, there's something important about that, and I'm going somewhere with this, okay? Victor Ortiz, I think I heard somebody say Victor Ortiz wasn't southpaw. He was right-hand dominant, or he's right-handed. Like, no, he is southpaw because that's the stance he fights in, right? I mean, that doesn't change. The stance you fight in does not change here. And why am I bringing this up? There's two particular fights, right, that both guys, that being Cotto and De La Hoya, fought Manny Pacquiao in, right? And a lot of people wonder, well, why is it, and I just got this question on Twitter a little bit ago, why is it that a big-ass De La Hoya, a big-ass Cotto couldn't do what a little-ass Marquez did to Pacquiao, right? Well, this is what you need to know. Miguel Cotto, De La Hoya, and Marquez all fight in the orthodox stance, right, with their left foot forward. That's how they all fight. But there's two similarities that Cotto and De La Hoya have that Marquez doesn't have with them, right? Now, we're not talking about styles right now. We're keeping it to the basics right now, all right? De La Hoya, Cotto, all right, are left-handed individuals that happen to fight in an orthodox stance. Their power hand is in front. It's in the front of them. That's how they felt comfortable whenever they started fighting, right? What are both guys known for? Cotto, bam, hook to the body, right? Power hand. Even the hook upstairs, the uppercut, right? That's what Cotto, he's got, the jab, right? Both De La Hoya, Cotto, the jab. They got a power jab. That's their power hand. They're not messing around, right? Now, Marquez got a jab, and it's a pretty good jab, but it wasn't that type of jab. It wasn't like a thud and a pa jab. It just wasn't that type of jab, right? But what did Marquez have? Marquez has a hell of a right hand. Marquez's right hand is one of the best in the business, right? It's very few people have that right hand comparable. Pacquiao's fighting him on May 2nd, right? But I'll say this. De La Hoya and Cotto don't have a right hand. Manny Pacquiao always circles the ring. I can't say always like absolute, but about 80% of the time, he moves to his left. Okay? You move to a person's left, right? I know this camera's inverted, but it is what it is. You move to a person's left. You're moving towards her right hand. Okay? Now, with all the, circumstances aside, right? The weight and all that aside, Cotto and De La Hoya do not have a right hand. Okay? I mean, well, literally they have a right hand. Okay? Like, don't give me shit about that. Yes, they're not like, they didn't cut it off, but their right hand is, they're professional boxers. Of course, they know how to throw a right hand, right? But in that elite level, both these guys never did much with that hand. Okay? Really. I mean, it's never been like their weapon. Like, find me like one fight where De La Hoya landed a right hand on somebody and knocked them out, or Cotto. Like, just go ahead. Go find me that footage. Okay? Those guys did damage with their lead power hand, with their left hand, right? As Pacquiao circled this guy's left, the whole time, the distance to get to Pacquiao with their power hand, Pacquiao felt miles apart, right? Now, the other thing about Marquez is, Marquez being right-hand dominant, Pacquiao was literally always walking it to his right hand, which is why when people say, like, Marquez got lucky, and Marquez landed a lucky shot, that's why he knocked him out. I mean, the round before that, he staggered Pacquiao, and then another round before that, he knocked him down with the right hand. I don't get when people say that it was a lucky shot. He was landing that right hand for 4 fights. That one time was just a sweet spot, okay? Also, Marquez is, let's just say his left hand is a lot better than Cotto's and De La Hoya's right hand, okay? Like, his non-dominant hand, he's more versatile with it, okay? Like, he's got the jab, right? When Pacquiao would try to come in low, uppercut. The lead uppercut of Marquez, man, woo! That lead uppercut of Marquez was like beautiful. Okay, he used it all the time, right? The hook, Pacquiao, mid-range fighter, fights from the mid-range. He would use the hook on him, right? Did it plenty of times. So when I look at this fight, right? When I look at Mayweather, when I look at Pacquiao, either A, Pacquiao has to fight, just change his direction, circle the opposite way that he usually circles in, which I just don't see happening. I just don't. The only time, because Pacquiao's trying to set up his left hand. Okay, that's why he's always circling that direction, right? Because he's trying to set up his left hand. And he's quick, right? And the only time he really moves to his right is when he lands the left hand, or he throws it with authority and he tries to roll under the dude. That's the only time Pacquiao almost literally moves to the other direction, to his right. It's almost the only time he does that, okay? Now, when you got a guy like Mayweather, okay, like the guy or not, a lot of people don't like Mayweather, right? They just don't like the guy, right? Rubs him the wrong way. But this is not a personality contest. I'm not here to like the guys, right? I know a lot of you want to like relate to the dudes and, pretend you could have a beer with them and get along with them and be their friend. Like, I don't know what you want from these guys, right? They're going to ring to fight, and that's all I care about, right? When they step into that ring, I do not see, for the life of me, I just honestly do not see how Manny Pacquiao is going to avoid, arguably, the fastest right hand he's ever faced in his career. That's the fastest right hand he's ever faced. Unless Mayweather has made like a drastic decrease in speed. I understand speed's the first thing to go, right? But I haven't seen any evidence that he's like slowing down like that. Unless that happens, I just don't see. I don't see it, okay? Since he's fighting a southpaw, Mayweather's going to use his front foot a lot more in this fight than people think. He's going to be right there in front of him because Pacquiao's going to be right there to land the right. He just is. Mayweather's got a pretty good hook. He's got a good jab. So Pacquiao's going to have to deal with that too. Mayweather will use his lead uppercut in this fight. He will use it. Pacquiao's going to have to do a lot of movement here. He's going to use a lot of energy to get on the inside. Mayweather's got a big arm length advantage over Manny. Huge. All right? Huge arm length advantage, and he's taller. And he knows how to use his height. He will use it against Manny. All right? Now, Manny starts off on the outside very well. Okay? And he's a mid-range fighter. He's not going to really fight on the inside against Floyd. When you get on the inside, Floyd's going to clinch him. He's going to hold him. Ref's going to break him. They're going to start all over, right? But Manny's not an inside fighter anyway. I honestly don't see as much clinching in this fight as people think, right? I do believe that Manny might have some success early because, the guy's like a little fireball, man. He just doesn't stop, okay? He just comes in and out, and he's quick, and he's got quick feet and blazing hand speed, and it's just, there's a possibility he can overwhelm Mayweather in the early going here. That is possible, okay? However, even if it happens, I don't think it'll happen for that long, okay? So a lot of people have been debating this, whether Mayweather's going to use the shoulder roll or not against Manny in this fight, okay? I don't think he's going to use it as much, but I think he's going to use it at times, to be honest with you, because Mayweather's going to take away the left hand from Manny. And that's what he does. That's what Mayweather does. He takes your best weapon, he takes it away from you. He neutralizes it, okay? He's going to neutralize the left hand. Give me that left hand. You ain't using it in this fight, okay? You're not going to use it. So Manny's going to try and use his right hand in this fight. And I do believe Mayweather will use the shoulder roll from time to time. Okay, when that happens. Okay. It will. It's going to be there to use. I'm just saying. From the left shoulder, bam, he's going to use it. Right? Manny might try and circle to his right, but I don't know what he's going to do with it. You know what I mean? He's damn if he doesn't, damn if he don't. Like, he's got to do what Manny does. So I know what a lot of you are thinking. Like, man, you're being biased. Like, you're just picking Mayweather to win. It's obvious. I'm sorry. Okay? My official prediction is Mayweather will win this fight by decision. Okay? And let me tell you why. Let me tell you first what Manny Pacquiao has to do to win this fight. And then let me tell you why I don't think it's going to happen. Okay? One, Manny Pacquiao is going to have to throw 100 punches around to win this fight. 100 punches around. Yeah, you heard me. He's going to have to throw, try and get Mayweather against the ropes and just throw like crazy and overwhelm him, outwork him to the point where it's just, he just outworked you, dude, for 30 minutes. Right? That's what he's going to have to do. Or, let me put a side note. Obviously, hurt the guy and maybe knock him out. I get it, right? That's always the case in boxing. But I'm talking in terms of maybe winning a decision here, right? He has to do that, but this is why it's not going to happen, okay? There's a reason Manny Pacquiao didn't throw, as many punches against Bradley and landed against Bradley than he did against Margarito, for example, okay? There's a reason Manny Pacquiao's output dramatically decreased when he fought Marquez. There's a reason for that. Now, this is what the simple-minded idiots say, okay? What the idiots say is, well, obviously he was off the PEDs. That's why he no longer threw that many. No, it's because he was fighting a guy that wasn't just standing in front of him like a statue, okay? And was actually using movements and countering. When you fight a counter puncher, your output dramatically decreases. Because when you throw something, something's coming back. It's common sense. Okay? So when he fought Claudio, well, yeah, Claudio was just covering up. Of course, Pacquiao's going to throw like a bumblebee. Okay? Against Mayweather, something's going to come back at him. Okay? And it's going to be the right hand. And when he tries to come in low, it's going to be the lead uppercut. Okay, when he decides, well, this time I'm going to circle to my right, hook. There's going to be something, no matter which direction Pacquiao goes in, right? Pacquiao Pacquiao's a little bit of trouble fighting on his back foot. Not really his thing. Not really Pacquiao's thing to fight on his back foot, right? Mayweather, believe it or not, might pressure this guy. Okay? He might, I don't think he's going to pressure him in a sense of like a Margarito pressure where he's just like walking in, taking punches and throwing or something. That's not what I mean. Okay? Mayweather's going to be using his front foot. Pacquiao's going to be using his back foot. Okay? And when you force a guy to use his back foot, there's not that much power into the punches, right? So, Mayweather, unanimous decision. I hope that the odds get closer in Vegas. I really do. Because I want it to be worth it to put some money on Mayweather. Okay? People are expecting a war. Ain't going to happen. This is going to be an outclassing. It's going to be exciting at moments because Pacquiao, like I said, is a little bumblebee and he does his thing, right? And Pacquiao is a great fighter, okay? To all the Philippines, he's an amazing fighter, okay? Stylistically, this is a nightmare matchup for Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people keep saying Pacquiao is a nightmare matchup for Mayweather. I don't see it, okay? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, but Mayweather, unanimous decision. That's how I see it. Tell me what do you think. Like, subscribe, share. Peace out.